Hey people, this is Shelly, the gray-haired mama, and I am here for moms over 55 who want to thrive in this season of their lives. So if that's you, you've come to the right place, so you need to hit that subscribe button. Today, the kids are grown and out of the house, so there's nothing left to distract you from that miserable marriage of yours. So what do? Do you stay or do you go? How do you decide? Stay tuned. Okay, who can relate to this? You've been married for about 20 years or more, and you've been thinking about getting a divorce, wishing you could get a divorce, wondering should you get a divorce, but all the time you just say, you know what, I'm just going to stick it out for the sake of my children. But now those little darlings have grown up, and the last one has graduated high school. So should you use your get out of jail free card? Or is it too late and you just need to stay put in that marriage of yours? What do? How do you decide what's best for you? Now, as I discuss this, I'm going to make three major assumptions. The first one is that you're not getting physically abused in any way. He's not beating you, pushing you, shoving you, hitting you, none of that. He's not laying a hand or a finger on you in anger or in aggression in any way. That's the first assumption. Next, I'm going to assume that you're not dealing with any kinds of substance abuse or any kind of addiction of any kind, because that adds another layer that we can talk about at a different time. The last assumption is that your husband is not having any kind of extramarital affair or any type of inappropriate relationship with anybody else, at least not currently, at least not that you know of. Now, of course, I know you can't be 100% certain about what anybody else is doing. And I do know that some men lie like rugs. But let's assume, for argument's sake, that at this point in time, you have no reason to believe that he's having an affair. So let's begin. If you are over 50 and considering a divorce, you have plenty of company. The divorce rate in people over 50 has doubled over the last 20 years, and that's according to research done by Bowling Green State University. In fact, another study found that Black women between the ages of 50 and 59 are the most likely people to get a divorce. Interesting. I think I can guess why, but that's off topic. Let's get back to the topic at hand. We need to get back to the business of figuring out whether or not you should get a divorce if you're over 55. As I see it, you have to weigh several different variables. Today, I'm going to discuss the variable of financial viability. In other words, can you afford to support yourself in the lifestyle to which you have become accustomed, or at least a lifestyle that you can tolerate post-divorce? Now remember, your children are grown, so child support would not be coming to you. Also, alimony is only granted in 1 of every 10 divorce cases in the United States, so don't count on that one either. Besides, even if spousal support is awarded, there's no guarantee that you're going to actually get it. But I've jumped too far ahead. Before that, you need to make sure you have access to the money that you will need to hire a kick-behind divorce attorney, because you're going to need that. You also need to start planning for the worst. Let's start thinking about your current living situation. Now, ask yourself the following questions. Where do you live now? Do you own or do you rent? If you own, whose name is on the title? Whose name is on the mortgage? Doesn't have to be the same. If you rent, whose name is on the lease? And when does the lease expire? If you and your husband separate, will you move out of the family home or will he? What do you think will happen? If you stay in the family home, can you hit that monthly mortgage or rent on your own without his help? If so, for how long? If you can't hit that monthly mortgage or that monthly rent payment, do you have enough money to afford to move into someplace else? Can you afford that place for an extended period of time? Will you have to rebuy furniture or other household goods in order to be comfortable at your new place? Do you have money for that? Now, what about your other expenses? Your food, your car note, your car insurance, your clothing, your cell phone? What about your credit card debt? Do you have any of that? Can you make those payments? Now, what about your health insurance and your dental coverage? Do you have that independent of your current marital status? In short, the question is, do you have enough income or assets to support yourself for an extended period of time without any help from your husband? If not, do you have anyone who could help you out, like parents? Divorces can take a long time to finalize. So I say all that to say, divorce takes advanced planning. You need to plan before you act. You cannot afford to let emotions just carry you away. Take the time you need to make sure that you are financially secure before you make a move. Now let's talk about your kids. Now I know those children are not your primary concern right now because they are grown and it is time for you to live your life. However, just because they're not your primary concern doesn't mean you shouldn't consider them at all. Are your kids in college right now? If so, will a divorce impact your family's ability to pay for that child's tuition? And if your family can't pay anymore, can that child get loans or scholarships or grants in order to continue his education? And if your child does get loans, how much debt will he have at the end of college? Now again, this is not your problem. Your child is grown and can figure this out by himself. However, it is another financial consequence of a divorce. And another way that divorce can impact the next generation. So you need to do some research before you decide to bolt. Here's another question. Where will your college students spend winter vacation or spring break if you move out of the family house? What if dad keeps the house, but your child doesn't want to stay there? Or what if the family house is sold? What then? Will you be able to afford a place that has enough space for that college student to come and spend summers and spring breaks and winter vacations with you? Was that college student banking on the fact that he could move back home after graduation if he didn't get a job? You know how bad this economy is right now, so you know job prospects are hard to come by. Again, this is not necessarily your concern. He could find 9 roommates and live with them. However, there are other issues, even more practical issues, and some very emotional issues that also come into play when you're making that decision, even if you've got your finances all taken care of. So in my next video, I'll be talking about those too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you won't miss it. So until next time, this is Shelley, the gray-haired mama. You take excellent care. Bye.